Hello everybody, Intuition here. Thank you as always for making time and space for us. Today we would like to discuss stagnancy. Many people at one time or another feel very stuck in their lives, like things are not moving forward in the way that they want, in the way that they feel is most appropriate for where they are in time and space, where they are at that point in their lives. And so it is important then therefore to discuss what stagnancy really is, and why, though things look stagnant, though things seem as though things have stopped in all directions and you are sitting in one place waiting for something to unfold, that there is no such thing as stagnancy, nor is there such a thing as staying in one place. So if right now you're feeling in your life as if everything has been put on a pause, that things are being suspended in midair, know and understand a crucial fundamental aspect of life and all things, whether it is here in physicality or in spirituality or in another dimension higher than both of those things combined. There is no such thing as stopping. In the idea that everything is in a constant influx of change, it is that same idea. So because the only constant is change, that means change is ever evolving, which means that it is ever expansive, which means that nothing could ever stop moving, even if it is under the interpretation or illusion that things are not moving. A rock is moving. A tree, even if there is no breeze going through its leaves, is still moving. Now, it is moving at such a rate in which you may not be able to see with the physical eye. However, it is still moving at a rate that is most appropriate for the speed in which is allowing them to understand themselves at. And so, when it comes to us feeling like things are stuck in time, things are stagnant, things are not changing, it's important to understand this key phrase that you all have on this planet, which is the idea that slow and steady wins the race. And why that is an important, crucial phrase to understand is because the key word in that sentence is slow and steady. Now, just because it says slow and steady wins the race does not mean that slow and steady is forever. Does not mean that that is the continuum of pace. It needs to be slow in order to steady itself. Steady meaning that you want to keep steady, because if you are not steady, then you will go out of balance and you will fall down. And so you must go slow at first in order to remain a steady pace, in order to continue to move momentum to a degree in which you can see viscerally the physical changes in which you are wanting to see. And that is the same when you have the illusion of things being stagnant in your life. Know and understand, if you think that things are stagnant, that the events that are unfolding that you believe or know should be unfolding for you aren't. And you've done your due diligence, done everything it is that you can in physicality to make sure that what it is that you're wanting to happen can happen, then if you are dealing with the illusion of stagnancy, know that it is you simply starting to slowly accelerate. But in order for you to pick up that momentum and pick up that speed and pick up that pace, you have to be steady enough to withhold that momentum. Otherwise, you're going to just tip over and fall down. And so stagnancy is all about, I'm simply starting to pick up momentum and speed. But in order for me to really start picking up speed, in order for me to physically in this third dimension start seeing the results of that, I need to be steady within myself first in order to hold and contain that momentum so that I don't go out of balance and teeter either way. That will push me out of the progress that I am making towards that goal, towards that event, towards that situation in which I believe would be most beneficial for me, that I'm calling into my life. So if things aren't happening at the pace in which you would like them to, if you feel stagnant and stuck, as if you are suspended in midair and that nothing is happening, and again, the caveat to that sentence is nothing is happening and I've done my due diligence to ensure that this thing is to happen and yet nothing is happening, then know that right now is a time in which you are starting to slowly pick up that momentum, slowly pick up that steadiness, so that when you start really moving at a rate that you were able to see those things manifest in physicality with you, You do not tip out of balance out of excitement when you start seeing it coming to your visualization, coming into your visual periphery. So, that is not to say, however, that I feel stagnant, but yet I haven't done anything in this physical realm in order to secure that thing to happen. Now, if you are not necessarily doing anything to ensure to some degree that what it is that you're wanting to be manifested will happen, then on some level, you are not staying stuck, but you are being rigid and not moving forward in the way that you could even be slow and steady to get to the end of the race. So that would be an example of, oh my goodness, I want to win the lottery. And that's where it begins and ends. You don't go to the store to pick up a lottery ticket, go and figure out what numbers you believe would be most beneficial to play in order to secure that foundational future in which would allow you to win that lottery. You're not doing anything to secure that. You're simply throwing out a whim and hoping that the universe hears it and throws it back at you. That is not how things work. And so, again, when we talk about stagnance in your life, we are talking about, I feel stagnant and I've done all my due diligence, everything that's within my power to do. I've done my prayers in the sense of I've asked God or my higher self or the angels or whomever it is that you pray to in a million different ways for the security of that foundation of future in which I'm hoping, as well as I've done my physical due diligence and effort in ensuring that I've done my part so that I could hand it off to spirit, hand it off to my higher self, hand it off to God, whomever it is that I pray to or see as my higher power. And in that collaboration, now it is looking as though things are stagnant. So again, if you've done that, you've done your prayers, moved forward in the sense of done everything that you can in physicality, then know that this is not a time of stagnancy. This is a time of you slowly steadying yourself so that when you get to a momentum that is quick enough in which physical reality is picking up with you, in that momentum, you will start seeing the actualization of what it is that you want. And that does not mean then, therefore, that this time is stagnancy. That simply means that this time is you getting your shit together, so to speak. So that when you're ready to take off the training wheels, you're really able to get going and not get scared or excited or fall off the bike when you see the thing in which you've been hoping and praying for coming at you. Because if you were not slow and steady, you were just fast and haphazard, when you see what it is that you want coming at you, you're not going to be able to contain yourself in your energy, in balance, and you will fall off, as well as the thing in which you've taken so much time to call into your life will also fall off. And so, just a little food for thought to potentially help you in those moments where you were telling yourself and believing in the illusion that things are not going your way. Sometimes things do take a little bit of time, but not because you're not deserving of it, not because you are not entitled to it. It is simply you have to get ready for what it is that you want. And if that is the case, then you deserve as much time as possible to get yourself in a space in which when what it is that you want comes to visit, you are able to host it well. As always, thank you for making time and space for us, and we wish you well in your stagnancy, your momentum, and everything in between.